the radio station. They have 100.
Here in Johnstown?
Yeah, they have 100 confirmations already.
Is
I
anybody
have
want to
13
go?
confirmations.
Those guys are freaking nuts over
Close
there.
to 100.
They have signed 267 people in 2 weeks.
At 1360?
Almost all 9-packs.
Wow, damn.
Yeah. I'm like, whew, wow.
Did you sign them up?
Yeah.
Well, lucky you. So is this
Lucky you
slideshow-
too. Those
Right.
points all flow up to you. I'm sorry. What was that?
Can you email the slideshow?
Yeah, I'll email it to you guys. So, first thing that I would suggest before we get into this is, if you got your phones, let's go to coloradotxc.org and join the email list there. Because even if you're not interested tonight, it's gonna get you good information. I send about maybe 2 emails a month. The email list is actually owned by
What's it called? Colorado what?
coloradotxc.org.
Colorado, one more time.
coloradotxc.org.
TXC.
Yep. And if you just join the email list, I own the email list. I don't share it with anybody else. Lets me be able to let people know about events we're having, stuff like that. I send out tips and tricks, remind people about commissions, stuff like that.
Yes.
So I'll just jump into it. The first part of this is talk a little bit about some terminology, because this terminology is going to come up through the explanation of what this program is. But if you get in the program, this is the terminology that people are going to be talking about. And if you're not in crypto, all of this is going to sound like a foreign language. And I like people to kind of understand what it is they're doing. We still have people that come in and say, oh, I don't care, I just want in. I prefer not to do it that way, because eventually those people are gonna have questions, and I like people that know what they're getting into, how to make crypto work for them, and how to make this program work for them. Otherwise, it just doesn't really make sense to me to do it, like, if you don't have a firm understanding of what it can do for you. So, I'm always here to answer questions. There's an entire help center that's there to answer questions.
You're always here?
I could be, I'm just down the street, but I'm available. You know, I mean, I've sat down with Ray, I've sat down with Nicole, helped them get their accounts set up.
Multiple times.
And the thing is
Your lights are on.
most of this information isn't just native that somebody, you're not just born with this info, right? And the first couple times you do it, it might seem daunting, but then pretty soon it's like any other transaction you're doing. If you've ever done online banking, it's all pretty much works the exact same way, you know? So, I'll let him come back in.
He's already signing that.
Well, but he might want some of this info.
Let's
Yeah.
keep going for him.
Yeah, it's pretty good to know this. That's something me and Nicole didn't know, huh?
So what is cryptocurrency? Digital virtual currency secured by cryptography. I mean, basically it's a coin that is built on a cryptographic algorithm is what it is. And blockchain, which we're going to get into, but the cryptography that this is used has been around for a long time, and it just gets better and better. But blockchain, which is the cryptology, has never been hacked. No one has ever been able to. It's pretty much designed so that it could never happen. Crypto mining, because that's what we're talking about tonight. And I think that's where the thing that gets the most confusing to people, especially if you're new to crypto, is, you know, what is mining? You know, what am I investing in? Crypto mining is a process of validating cryptocurrency transactions and adding them to a blockchain. The blockchain is a public ledger Miners are specialized computers used to solve complex mathematical puzzles. Basically, the mine is a data center, and it's a physical location filled with physical computers. These are not your normal everyday computers. These are servers that are running at extremely high rates of speed. And as these computers run this cryptology through it, they're solving these algorithms. And as the algorithm is solved, the coins are created. And kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but what they say is that this is a 136-year investment. Every night for 136 years, you're going to get a coin deposit. The 136 years isn't a guess. They're not speculating. That is when the algorithm runs out. The algorithm is finite, and so in 136 years, it will reach the end of the algorithm, and no more coins can be produced. And so that's how we know that it's 136 years. Hash power. This is a big one. This is where a lot of people get confused, because when you get a share of TEXITcoin, 1 share equals 100 hash. Hash power is basically the speed of which these computers compute. Because they're going at such high speeds, they don't measure the speed of these computers in gigs. They measure it in what they call a hash rate. And the hash rate is how many computations it can do in a specified amount of time. So the machines that they have are like, each machine's like 100,000 gigahash. 1 share of the mine is a 100 hash, so that's 100 hash inside of there. That's the rate at which your share is at. So, what's the blockchain? This is really the more important thing here. Blockchain is a digital ledger, like a shared and secured notebook that records transactions across a network of computers. Each record or block is linked to the previous one, creating a chronological chain. This chain is difficult to tamper with, ensuring a transparent and immutable record of information. This is why I say it's nearly impossible to ever hack the blockchain. Every transaction in the block contains every transaction that happened previously. So the very first transaction of TEXITcoin, block 1, anytime another transaction happens, the computers go back and they redo that mathematic equation starting from the very first transaction ever up to your current transaction. Everything has to check out perfectly for your transaction to be completed. If somebody wanted to hack it, it would alter that somewhere along the line. It would be shut down. It wouldn't allow that transaction to happen because it wouldn't be able to compute from the first one. So every time a transaction happens, it's checking every transaction before to make sure that nothing has changed from the previous time. And if it doesn't, they're able to shut it down there. That's how they keep this stuff secure. And that's also why the transactions can become harder and harder, because it's having to run every other transaction prior. That's why you have to grow the mine, because the mine has to grow at the rate to be able to keep up with the amount of speed that is required to do this. I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but TEXITcoin mines, their data centers are geolocked to Texas. And they did that to safeguard everybody's investment. Because when you look at Bitcoin, which is the big one, everybody's heard of Bitcoin mining now is mostly done in China and Norway. And they're actually controlled by the governments of those nations, because the data centers that they have to be able to run a Bitcoin transaction are gigantic. One Bitcoin transaction consumes enough energy to power a normal neighborhood for a week. That's one Bitcoin transaction. Now, Bitcoin is the older technology. Technology's gotten a lot better. TXC runs on a different type of network that consumes a heck of a lot less energy. And that's another reason it's so cheap to be able to do a TXC transaction. Bitcoin transactions now is about $20 per every $100 that you're sending. is about a $20 fee. I sent $26,000 of TEXITcoin the other day, and it cost me 0.00005 cents to send. So it's a huge difference there. Blockchain technology, I kind of jumped ahead and talked about that, but the transaction gets requested, a block is created that represents that transaction. The block is sent to every node in the network. That is every computer inside of that data center. The nodes validate the transaction. They're validating the cryptology inside of each of those transactions. The block is added to the existing blockchain. The transaction is then complete, and that transaction is locked in. The other nice thing is every transaction you've ever made or ever will make, you can always go back because you'll have a record of it. You'll know which block it was at. You can always look at the block. That's the other cool thing too. If I'm sending you money, TXC, I can watch that it left. You can see that it got there. If it didn't, we can always pull up the block and find out, was it errored, and resend it. But there's always a transaction record of everything that's happened and where it went. So, cold storage wallet. This is very important to everybody. When you get yourself a mining share, they're going to mail you one of these coins. Looks exactly like that. That is a cold storage wallet. The coin itself has no inherent value. It's just a piece of copper. On the back of the coin, it had actually.
Oh, would you like me to get one?
I've got one here. On the back of the coin, it's got a QR code. This is a sticker. This is a receive only address. So it doesn't matter who sees. This is actually one of my mining coins. There's probably, I don't know, $5,000 on this coin. So, but it's no big deal if anybody sees this, because all they could do is send me money, or you can read what's on the coin. To get the stuff off the coin, you have to turn it into a hot wallet. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, you have to treat this coin like a wallet, like a true wallet. You don't want to just be carrying it around with you. Best to just lock it in a safe and forget about it. Make sure it's secure, because if somebody steals this coin, they have access to the coins that are on it if they knew what to do with that coin. So I keep all of my different cold storage wallets locked up in a safe. I needed this one today, that's why I have it with me. But hot wallet. A hot wallet is a wallet that can both send and receive. Hot wallets, if you were on a crypto exchange and you were leaving your crypto on the exchange, that would be considered a hot wallet. Hot wallets are less secure than cold wallets. There have been hacks on exchanges, just like there's been hacks at people's bank accounts. The nice thing about crypto is you don't have to keep your money in the exchange. You can put it back onto your cold storage wallet. When it's on the cold wallet, it's offline. Nobody can get to it, except for physically coming in and stealing the coin. So this is a cold wallet now, but it can be a hot wallet. You tear this sticker off. Underneath that sticker, there's a laser engraved QR code. You'll polish it up with some rubbing alcohol, because it's a tamper-proof sticker. When you pull it off, it's going to leave residue. Take some rubbing alcohol, the QR code will pop up, and then you can take that picture. Now you have a hot wallet, and you can send and receive from that hot wallet. That's how you get your coins off. That's how you convert your TXC into American dollars. So at some point you would probably want to do that, especially if you're starting to get a lot of money into your coins. So now let's learn about TXC itself, unless anybody has any questions about anything that we just talked about. I know that was a very fast spin through that thing, but I wanted you to hear those terms before we got into this. Guys, if you have questions and you're starting not to understand, just ask, because when I first got into this, I had dabbled in crypto a little bit. I was by no means an expert, and I had hundreds of questions when I first got into this thing. So there's probably no question I haven't heard yet, and really all of them are good questions. So. Race to 16. So in October 2024, TEXITcoin was trading for around 4 cents. In April of 2025, it was trading around 49 cents. I wrote this a night before everything went crazy. The very next night, TEXITcoin hit 58 cents. And about 3 nights after that, it hit 89 cents. The next day it hit 98 cents. It went up to $1.04. And now it's back down, sitting roughly between 82 and 85 cents on a daily basis. Now, cents doesn't sound like a lot, but I got into this on October 28th of 2024 when it was at 4 cents. And I joined the mine, and then I decided that I was also gonna go buy some on the exchange. And I went out on the exchange, I bought about $2,000 worth at 4 cents. Well, I sold that last week at 98 cents. And between that and a few other things, I was able to turn that into $26,000. So it's real, I've done it. Lots of people do it over and over. The growth is crazy. It sounds crazy, but in the crypto world, this is an everyday thing. This isn't, yes,
And that money currently is sitting in your bank account.
yes, ma'am.
And how, like, do you get taxed, like, super big on it? Like,
So it's taxed, your tax basis, I can't answer all the tax question on it. But it ends up looking somewhat like income, because you don't have when you move this in there, you're moving what they call USDC. We'll talk about that a little bit more so it'll make more sense. But when your USDC goes into into your account, all they know is that USDC came in and USDC went into your bank account. And in fact, I just filled out my tax paperwork on Coinbase yesterday, and Coinbase said if you sent the money to yourself and then to your bank account, it's not taxable. I hate to answer too many tax questions because I'm not a tax expert, but as my accountant told me, because we had this discussion the other day, is that if the amount gets to be too high, I may have to claim it as income, and then it would be tacked on to the income amount. For me, the amount is going to get too high. The other night, kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but this race to 16, on February 22nd of 2026, we should be at $16.69. That's not a guess. There's a mathematic equation that they're doing to tell us what the amounts are going to be, and they've actually published the list so that you can see what it's supposed to be at every month. And the way they can figure it out is they own the mine. They know what the mine produces on a daily basis. The mine never can't produce more. Sometimes it can produce less, depending upon energy fluctuations and those kind of things. But it's pretty steady. And they can take the amount of coins that are produced, plus the growth of the mine, plus the what they call the spread on the exchange. And I'm not a math person, but they've published it if you are, and you can go look at the equation and do it for yourself. But they can basically say on this day it's going to be this, on this day it's going to be that. They published back in December of last year the list of month by month of what they said it's going to be at. They have either met or exceeded that amount every month since. And the prediction was 75 cents for May, and on May 2nd is when it went to 98 cents. So a new floor has been established, and it looks to be that the floor is about 79 cents, because even in the fluctuations throughout the day, it no longer dips below that 79 cent line. And it looks like the Europeans are kind of keeping it up there. So, but going back to what I was saying, that same day that I moved the $26,000, I decided that I needed a couple more cold storage coins. So I took another cold storage coin and I moved $2 million worth of TEXITcoin at the $16 value, $16.69 value, not today's value. planning ahead for February 22nd, I put $2 million onto a cold storage coin and locked it up. So then I had a bunch left over. That's where I sold some, got that $26,000. And I took the rest and spread it amongst a couple of other coins that I can utilize as hot wallets and not have too much outstanding on them. So it's a very real, it's a very easy thing to do. And moving the money is super simple. Once you've done it a couple times, so like we're doing your first transaction and you've got a hold on it. That's common for people's first moving the money in from a bank account. They don't want to let you move it right back out in case it's fraudulent. They put a hold for a week and check on it. But once you've started building up using your account, the holds start disappearing. It would be just like if you went into a bank and opened a checking account and then you made your first deposit with a handwritten check. They're probably not letting you then wire that money out 10 minutes later. So, what is TEXITcoin? Accessible, scalable, mineable, usable crypto coin. This is an important thing to understand, is the usable part. There's a lot of projects out there in crypto, and this is one reason that crypto gets a bad name. There's a lot of projects that are called honeypots, where a coin is created under the guise that someday it will be tradable. And they get people to go out and buy the coin, hoping that someday it gets onto an exchange. Lots of times those projects never come to market. And if that coin never goes on an exchange, you have no way of selling it, you have no way of moving it, you have no way of using it. So TEXITcoin knew that was an issue, so the very first thing they did is get exchanges set up. So from day one, they're on exchanges. They're on Asbit, they're on Bitmart, they're on DexTrade, and by probably August, they will be on Kraken. And Kraken is a very important thing because Kraken is a tier 1 exchange. It's a tier 1 exchange authorized in the United States. And they are under the federal umbrella, and that means that you can send and receive money directly from a US bank account on that exchange. So it's gonna make doing TEXITcoin a lot easier. But right now, you can buy, sell, and trade on 5 different exchanges. So it is really still the ground floor. They are just at about 1% of mining shares sold today. Once they hit 100 million mega hash, they're going to stop taking mining. And why is it important to get in closer to the ground floor? As you get in early, you have that much more opportunity to grow your hash power or your shares. When they stop taking on new miners, whatever you're at on that day, that's where you're going to be for the next 136 years. So if you've taken the opportunities and you've grown your hash power by past what you paid in, then you would be sitting pretty good. I bought in October 28th, $2,985. I bought a 3-pack. I've never put one dime more into it. I have not spent one more penny out of my pocket. And I am getting right now on today's market about $8,000 a month in coins. I'm getting another $12,000 a month in commissions. And I mean, the program's been great for me. I made my first investment back in 2 weeks. And after that, it's just all been profit. But I didn't make back my investment by putting in the money and then doing nothing. I made back my investment by doing this. Talking to Ray, talking to Nicole, talking to people at the gun shop, signing people up, that kind of thing. You don't have to do that. There's no rule that says you have to sign anybody up. There's no rule that says you have to build a network. That is something that's offered as, if you want to do it, great, we'll give you something for doing it. If you don't, your investment doesn't change. You still have your investment. You still get your coins every day. Nobody's ever going to call you up and bug you to go sign people up or put more money in, anything like that. That's why I kind of like the program. because it's purely up to you if you want to partake in the networking side of it. And not partaking in the networking side does not affect your mining nor affect your shares or anything like that. So, tokenomics, basically, they're talking about that the fair distribution of the coin, how they plan on keeping it stable. So TEXITcoin distribution. TEXITcoin is allocated exclusively through mining. This approach ensures that TXC is fairly distributed to miners based on hash power purchased or earned by miners. Participants helping grow the mine earn additional hash power through referral bonuses. No one mining pool participant can purchase in excess of 9 shares. This is important for you guys to understand. When Bobby set this up, he didn't want any multimillionaire to be able to come in, buy up all the shares, and control everything. So you are limited, everybody is limited, no matter who, you are limited to 9 shares. You cannot buy more than 9 shares. You can earn unlimited amount of shares. You can earn those through networking, or signing people up, all of that. But you cannot purchase more than 9 shares. That is good for us because it keeps people from being able to come in, buy up all the shares, and then manipulate the money that way. It means that it's a fair, equal distribution to everybody that has bought a share, from people that buy a 1-pack all the way up to people that buy 9 packs. Everybody has a fair piece of the pie. TEXITcoin's built and traded commerce first. It can be used for a wide range of transactions, from everyday purchases to larger business operations. Additionally, TEXITcoin holders have the opportunity to participate in governance decisions, helping to shape the future of the network. I've seen this in action. My buddy, these guys know him, Jonathan. Jonathan just bought a Mercedes a couple weeks ago with TEXITcoin. Over here at Off-Road Autos out in Fort Lupton, they take TEXITcoin. You can literally walk in there and buy a car today with TEXITcoin. There's a lot of more businesses that are starting to take TEXITcoin. I am getting my yard redone right now, and the contractor that is doing my backyard and my front yard is taking payment in TEXITcoin. So he bought in a couple months ago with a 1-pack, and now he wants more TXC. So it's there's a lot of people out there that are taking it. Businesses, more and more businesses are starting to take it. And again, we are already on the exchanges. Value of TEXITcoin is driven by market demand, scarcity, and utility. As the mine grows in size, reliability, and decentralization, more businesses, traders, and individuals adopt TEXITcoin, and the demand and value of the currency are expected to increase. Here's a cool little tidbit. Gonzales, Texas. They have the Texas State Fair there. I don't know if it's the full state fair or if it's a localized state fair, but it's in Gonzales, Texas. This year, they are doing away with tickets. You know, when you go to the fair, you buy tickets for the rides, the food. They're using TEXITcoin. People are going to be able to come in, they'll buy TEXITcoin, put it on the app on their phone, they'll be able to tap, and then the city of Gonzales is going to be able to track everything through the TEXITcoin app and no longer have to expend money on tickets and counting tickets and all of that. So that was kind of a cool step. There's quite a few down in Texas. There's more and more government entities that are kind of jump on and start using this. If we were in Texas, they're saying is for Texans by Texans, but it's literally a global coin. It can be used anywhere, and so it's pretty big in Asia right now, actually. Oops, too far ahead. Incentives. TEXITcoin offers various incentives for miners, including bonus mining hash power for recruiting more miners, and businesses that want to accept TXC as payment for goods and services. The reason I threw this picture in here is 2 months ago they were running a deal for miners. If they got their car wrapped with a Texit logo, they were paying them $1,000 a month. They were paying for the wrap and then paying them $1,000 a month in cash to have a wrap on their car.
It's still going on?
It is, but there's a waiting list now. 400 people took advantage of it right off the bat. And so,
Right?
so now there's a waiting list, and the waiting list is also based on like location and how cool your car is.
Just tell them about your tattoo.
Oh, yeah, okay. So, me and Jonathan, we were in Phoenix, and we were driving through an area of town that had a lot of tattoo parlors. Jonathan said, I wonder if we could get Texas tattoos. And so we called Bobby and said, hey, Bobby, how much is a Texas tattoo worth? And he said, I don't know, 5,000. And he said, okay, well, what if we got our QR codes put on? He said, okay, I'll give you 10,000. So now I have a TEXITcoin tattoo, and he paid me $10,000 in cash for the tattoo. And then he paid for the tattoo too. So yeah, it was an awesome tattoo. You can scan it and send me money. But there's always something like that. You know, every time they get new billboards, Bobby will say, first person to send me a picture of the billboard, I'll send you $1,000. End of this month, we're going to Vegas. 75 miners are going to the Vegas trip. It's all expenses paid, all food, all travel, everything. We're all going on helicopter rides, all this stuff. Next month is Hawaii. The month after that is Thailand. They've got an entire list. There's a trip every month. And it's pretty easy. Like, I think you have to sign 10 people up to qualify. And everybody's getting suites at Resort World. The top 5 people are also getting $5,000 in chips to gamble with. So, and there's a lot of fun to it too, but you can make a lot of money in it. How to get into the TEXITcoin journey? You can purchase TEXITcoin on many popular crypto exchanges at today's market price. So you don't have to do the mining thing. Say you just really thought TEXITcoin was really cool, you could go today without buying a mining share. You could go to DexTrade and just buy TEXITcoin. The difference is when you're buying it today, you're buying it probably like around 98 cents, and your cost basis for that stays at 98 cents. So you have to wait for it to go up for it to be profitable for you. When you buy a mining share, regardless of whatever the price is on a daily basis, you get coins every day. You don't get less coins because the price went up, and you don't get more coins because the price went down. You get the coins that are based off of what the mine produced that day. So if I'm getting 50 coins today, and tomorrow it shoots up to $500 a share, it's not gonna happen, but if it did shoot up to $500 a share and I'm still getting 50 coins, but now those coins are worth $500 each instead of 98 cents each. It's not gonna jump to 500, I'm not saying that. Make sure the camera sees that, but it's, yeah.
So if somebody wanted to buy $200 worth of TEXITcoin, they could, and they'd still make, that would be exchangeable at 80 cents today?
So you wouldn't want to go in, probably wouldn't. I guess if you went in on the market and set a limit buy, and you set up a limit buy at say 70 cents, maybe you would get it if it dipped really quick, and then turned around and sold it for 85 cents, and you would make a little bit of money.
So the difference is though, is like you're not getting a share where you get
You're not
every
getting a
single
share.
night.
You're just buying a coin, right?
Yeah, it's just like stock, right? In the exchange, if you've ever been on a stock exchange like E-Trade, the crypto exchanges look exactly the same. It's pretty much the same program. So if you've ever done anything on E-Trade or anything like that, you will have no problem with the crypto exchange. It works the exact same way. Limit sells, buy sells, those kind of things. Market sells. So it's actually extremely easy to do. And when I first got in, like I said, it was at 4 cents. So it was kind of a no-brainer. Today, you probably have to put a lot more thought into that because you'd be buying it at 90 cents. And if you were getting a mining share, it's much more valuable a mining share today than a mining share in October. And I wanted to speed up the process, so I bought a lot of coins. Today, it would cost a lot more money to do what I did. And so it's better to just get the mining share and let the coins come to you. So get yourself a mining share, get the TEXITcoin deposit onto your cold storage wallet every day for the next 136 years. So every night about 7 p.m., there's a deposit of coins for you. The coin deposit is based off of how many shares you have and how many miners there are. When there was 100 miners, single shares got a lot more coins than they do when there's 10,000 miners because it's all one pool and the percentage is there. So That's another reason that I work on growing my hash power so much, is I've grown my hash faster than the depreciation of it, so. Mining options. A single share, 100 hash, $995. You get a 3 shares, 300 hash power for $2,985. That's the package that I bought. They did not have this promotion when I bought in. When I bought in, it was 3 shares. You paid for 3 shares, you got 3 shares. Now they have a promotion. If you buy 3, they give you another share for free. So you're basically getting $4,000 worth for $2,985. And then they've got the biggest seat, and that's the 9-pack, and you can buy the 9-pack outright for $8,950. The biggest difference, and you also get 3 free shares on that one, so you would start off with 1,200. The biggest difference between a 3 and a 9 isn't the price. It's when you buy a 9-pack, you get 3 payment centers. I would recommend that nobody here, and I don't know that anybody here is even considering it, the 9-pack is what they call a professional builder pack. Unless you are gonna go out and sign up a whole bunch of people, the 9-pack does not make sense for most people, because it's gonna take you longer to recover that initial investment. 9-packs are more for people that are going out, they're doing this kind of thing every day, they're signing up lots of people, because you get 3 pay centers. And the pay centers are important when it comes to commission, because commissions are limited to $3,000 per week per pay center. And I max out every week, and I continue adding people, you don't get anything for those people. If you had a 9-pack, you can max out 3 different centers. But it takes 56 points to max out all 3 centers. That means that you have to sign at least 56 singles, or I can't do the math, but 20 triples, and that's a lot. That's a lot to do. So, unless you just had a lot of money burning a hole in your pocket, the 9-pack doesn't make a lot of sense to an individual that's not gonna sign up a lot of people. I know the company, that's probably not what they want me to be telling everybody, but, it's, to me, it's just financially, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, honestly, I wish I would have bought a 9-pack, because you can't go back and buy a 9-pack later. But when I bought in, I was like, I know a few people I could sign up, but I was like, there's no way I could be signing people up all the time, so I did not buy the 9, I bought the 3. And even, I'm like miner 340, something like that, 340th person to come in. And even with that, and even knowing Bobby and doing all this, he still won't let me have a 9-pack. So at least we know it's fair across the board. My personal journey, I know I've hit on this quite a bit. These numbers are actually a lot different now from when I wrote this. I literally wrote this thing 2 weeks ago, and it's already outdated. I'm at 5,600 hash now, and I'm sitting on, well, I don't know, 150,000 coins now, I think, something like that. So, TEXITcoin's been great for me. Like I said, I'm getting commissions every week. I have now have a new strategy, because I banked so much of what I had that if it hits the 1669 as projected, that's at least $2 million right there. So now what I'm doing is, at the end of every month, I'm taking 50% of the coins that I made and I'm putting them into that bank. And I did the math. If I do that every month up until February, I should be able to add another $1 million worth of coin value at that $16 mark. So the bank should actually be $3 million, but then I should be able to cash out right around $4,000 to $5,000 out of there every week. That's if the coin doesn't change in value. So that's what I'm doing now, is cashing out 50% and saving 50%. But everybody can, I mean, it's really up to you what you want to do. What a lot of miners do is they buy the mine pack, and as soon as they've got their investment back, they sell the investment, put the money back in their pocket, and then whatever they have left is, now you've made your money back, there's no more risk right? Even if you lost it all, somehow you didn't lose any money. So I don't know what anybody's individual financial situation is, so those are choices you have to make yourself. This is the easiest way to grow it, and that's the 1, 2 free. Every 3 new miners you sign up, you get an additional share given to you. You sign up 3 in your first 30 days, they give you 2 shares. So if you sign up 3 people in the first 30 days, 2 shares, that's $2,000 worth. And if you can do it in the first 30 days, they want to see if you can do it again. They reset the clock to give you another 30 days, see if you can do it again. You sign up 3 more people, 200 more hash. So if you could get 6 people in 60 days, that's $4,000 of extra hash for you. And that makes a big difference in your coinage. So if you had a 3-pack and got that extra share and then signed up to 6 people in 60 days, you would be at 800 hash. But if you're also doing that, then you also should be maxing out and getting commissions too. Weekly commissions, 3 points on the left, 3 points on the right, get you $1,000, 6 points left and right, 2,000, 9 points left, 9 points right, 3,000. I know left and right sounds really confusing. One of the things that you want to do is you want to make sure that you get into a good network. And I run what's called the Colorado team, and the Colorado team is #1 in the entire Texas market. We're even beating the Texas teams. That's only been over the last couple of weeks. I finally caught up and now I'm beating them. If you get into a dead end team, it's hard to get points coming up your side, but our team is throwing up so many points on each side each week that if you buy a packet, you don't have to worry about whatever side you get put on. You only have to fill one side. So that could be as easy as 1 3-pack a week would get you $1,000. So, what are points? Texas World, each share is worth a point. When you sign up your friends, family, you earn points based on what package they choose. A single pack would be worth 1 point, and 9 packs worth 9 points. Points add up, and as your points add up, you can earn weekly commissions. Again, not required. I do it because I get paid and I like money and I like to spend money, and it's been fairly easy. If signing people up isn't your thing, it doesn't affect your mind. It, like I said, it's purely something, if you want to do that, it's a choice that you have. It's not a requirement of anything. Left and right side, most miners are signed up by friends and family by attending a TEXITcoin meeting. Each miner has a network of other miners with the left leg and the right leg. As you sign up new miners, determine if you want to put them on your left side or your right side. Keep in mind you want to balance your sides to match points. Or you can simply go into your profile and set balance, and the office will do it for you. And it makes it real easy. Kind of already talked about this, how the legs work. Every time you add somebody, they just go to the bottom of the list. So everybody that I add on my right side, they're just in a big old long line. And if Ray went and added somebody today on his right side, it's gonna go below the last person I added, and so on and so on and so on. But the cool thing is points flow up through the whole leg. So when a new miner's added, a 3-pack meaning 3 points, those 3 points are awarded to all the miners above them as well. And so when you get into a good network, like I said, we've got like the radio station, we've got Patriot Trading. These guys are signing up 50, 60 people a day. Where you sit, their 50 and 60 people end up below you. So all those points roll up your side. That means you only have to fill one side. And if you can find yourself one go-getter, put them on that left side, you can max out every week. Is it hard to set up? It's easy to set up your legs. As you get new miners in, you can manually decide what leg you want them on. Or you can simply select balance my legs and your profile, and the system will place them in for you. Super simple. Again, I've really kind of beat this one to death. There's no penalty for choosing not to add new miners. And nobody from TEXITcoin is ever going to call you and be like, why aren't you doing this? I would bet you that probably over 90% of the people in are not signing anyone up. They just are sitting back enjoying their investment. And I know that the majority of the people at the radio station, those guys are signing up, they have no intention of signing anyone they just wanna sit back and watch the investment grow, so. How are commissions paid? They're paid weekly. You can choose between cash or hash. You can choose cash. Cash value is paid to you in crypto and added to a wallet of your choosing. If you choose hash, and this is how I grew mine. In the beginning, I decided not to take cash commissions. I took hash commissions. When you take hash, they BOGO it. So when I would get $1,000 commission, instead of getting 1 share, I would get 2. When I would have a $3,000 commission, instead of getting 3 shares, I got 6. And I was able to grow up to 5,600 hash. So, again, it's completely up to you what works best for you. Benefits of mining versus buying a Texit on the market. We kind of talked about this earlier, but when you have this, the biggest thing is when you have the mining share, you're getting a reward every night for the next 136 years. Mining shares are willable and sellable. So none of us are gonna live for 136 years, so you can sell it to somebody, you can will it to somebody, give it to somebody, whatever you want. Miners are invited into a miners only Telegram chat room where you get instant support from other miners. That's extremely helpful in the beginning because you have hundreds of miners in this chat. Everybody's pretty much willing to help out. You can go in there and ask for help. They'll help you out. Just today, well, you know Ken, Bullseye. Now he's retired. He has nothing to do, so he sits in that chat all day looking to help somebody. And as I was driving here, he had just got on a Zoom call helping some people set up to learn how to move their wallets and stuff. I like his story because when I signed Ken up, he'd never even heard of crypto before. And now he's in there in the help room helping people send crypto and get mines set up. And he just created a YouTube channel. And he's actually creating YouTube content, which is funny. But here's the other thing, and this is the big one. There's a miners only Zoom call every Tuesday night. That's where you get all of your advanced information. When they're getting ready to go on to another exchange, you're gonna know a week or 2 in advance. When they went on to Bitmart, that was the last exchange they went on. They shot that coin up that day to $59.04. It entered onto the exchange at 30 cents, and before the end of the night, it was at $59. Not cents, dollars. So if you have advance warning that they're going on to exchange, you could go to that exchange, set up a wallet, be ready for it to go, and you could majorly cash in on new exchanges. But the other thing too is Bobby gets on there, they give you the full breakdown, and you can actually see this information anytime you want. You can log into the dashboard, you can see how every penny is spent in the company. In the Telegram, they post every receipt for everything they've ever done, so that you can track and follow what they're doing with the money that's invested. Kind of really touched on all of this already. What do you need to get going? It's easy. You can sign up from your phone or any computer, provide you with quick and easy sign up link. Only very basic information is required to sign up. Name, phone number, email address, and mailing address is all you need. They don't collect banking information, social security numbers, none of that stuff. It's a crypto world. Email address, phone number is all you need. You gotta select which package you want. You'll create a screen name, and then you gotta choose how you wanna pay for it. The best way to pay is to select crypto and pay them directly in crypto. If you don't already have crypto, that can be a little daunting, so we'd have to work around that. If they have a cold storage coin, which we don't, they would provide you with one, so they'll have to mail you your cold storage coin. Not to worry though, if your coin was stolen in the mail or anything like that, the back office can shut it off, transfer your stuff into a new cold storage coin and get it out to you. So not a lot to worry about in the mail. Once you've submitted your application, you'll receive an email or a text or phone call from the office confirming your desire to join the team, verify your payment method that you chose during sign up. You'll have to verify your email. They send you an email, say click here to verify it. Download the TXC wallet and join the Telegram chat if you want to. And then, like I was talking about, visit the Colorado TXC and get signed up on there. Other things, set up a Coinbase or Kraken account. They're free, they're easy exchanges. you definitely want one or the other. And that if you're getting into the mining, you really wanna get this set up early, your Coinbase account. Cause like I said, it's just like setting up a bank account. The longer you bank with a bank, you know, they'll let you send or deposit more money, those kind of things. If you set up the Coinbase account the day of your first commission's gonna come in, they're gonna put a hold on it. And so it's better to have things set up, make sure your bank accounts are connected and all of that. Coinbase and Kraken are not related to TXC, it's completely their own companies, they are official exchanges, they are licensed exchanges in the US, so they are gonna ask you for banking information, they're gonna ask you for copies of your driver's license. Everything that you need to set up a bank account is the same thing you've gotta do to set up an exchange account. So, download DexTrade or any of the other active exchanges TXC's traded on. Keep in mind, you cannot verify your account on Dex, they don't like Americans. DexTrade is what I use. All you need is set up an email and two-factor authentication. Do not verify your account, because once you verify it, send in your driver's license, they see that you're in the United States, they shut it down. And the reason they do that is the United States is the only country that regulates crypto with taxes. No other countries do. DexTrade is not based in the US, they don't wanna deal with the United States' tax code, so they don't officially deal with Americans. But all you need is an email address to set it up, set up your DexTrade account. I buy, sell, trade every day on there with no problems. What your limit is, if you're unverified, is 1 Bitcoin per day. That right now is $104,000. So as long as you're not planning on transferring more than $104,000 in a day, there's no need to do extra verification. Then you start sharing your TEXITcoin journey with your friends and family and start building your network. Things to keep in mind, that cold storage coin is just like cash, like we talked about. Don't leave it laying around. Once you get your TXC wallet set up on your phone, lock that coin up. And when you have your wallet set up, you're setting up a read-only wallet. So even if your phone was stolen, if somebody broke in, they can't do anything with a read-only wallet. They could just see how much money you had in there. But once you turn it into a hot wallet, they could. So, that's this presentation. So I open it up to questions, comments, concerns, anything like that. Do we wanna,
What's gonna be nice is we're gonna all watch how Xander does it to sign up right now.
I already got all the wallet and the Coinbase and everything.
one of the other
Sounds
things,
nice.
one of the other things I
But
thought I
had to
could
keep
show
that
everybody,
thing
just so that you can get a chance to see it. But I was gonna log into my actual dashboard.
You already set up, Xander?
Oh,
Yeah, Coinbase has been
Auto
set up. I've
Wi-Fi.
had that
Oh, your
for-
text it,
Yeah, I have my
So-
wallet set up already.
but you don't give him the money because
So
if you get to
on
give
Ray,
him.
Ray only has, he has 5,400 hash,
What is,
but on ours, we only have 200,
What
and
is
Ray's
it?
making 12 coins a day.
what is it?
It was
clarify
50
that.
and we dropped down to 12.
It's that one, and then E-L-I-Y
Show your account.
When you set up, I gotta send you,
O-Y
We don't know
M
yet. Not the file. That's what we're gonna.
yeah, I gotta send you that, the sign up thing. Or Nicole,
Okay.
just where you could be in the pyramid.
So anyway, every night he gets like 12 coins, so 12 times 30, whatever that is. What's 12 times 30, Xander? Let's say 300.
Well, 12 times 3 and then add a 0.
Yeah. 360. So 360 times 8
Equals the points go.
So 36 times 8.
is what he would be making a month right now. But we started 1 month after him. So
Yeah,
he's
we're
at 4,000.
426, remember.
But he has like 4,000 something
I
coins.
got
And that transfers to the
4,386
cents. I think
coins
that's the part
already.
that gets confusing because he has all these commissions and he has all these
Right. So
bonuses.
I have 100 hash power, and I got $200 in a month.
And I got 200
He
hash
has
power.
regained his within 5 months plus some. So that shows, and he only you have 200.
Well, that's just as of last week, when Mom got on.
Okay.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
already got 4,386 coins.
So I think that's what, like, the understandable is you
I'm
get,
not selling
for
nothing.
$1,000, you get 100 hash power. That's getting you about 6 coins a day right now.
It's a similar process to a stock. So when you're buying a stock in a company, it's worth a certain amount of value, and then that value can go up, and you can sell it if it goes up in value. In this situation, if you buy it as a miner, instead of just sitting at 10 shares that you purchased, you can gain an additional 5 shares roughly every day. So you wouldn't sit at 10 shares, you go to 15 and then 20 and then 25. So no matter what, as a miner, you would be adding into your blockchain period.
Well, and that's kind of the nice thing too.
Damn.
In all reality, okay,
If you
isn't it?
didn't get anybody under, I think like to
It's-
keep it really simple. If you have 1 hash power or 100 hash power, you bought the $9.95, then I'm approximately making 6 cents a day right now.
No.
6 coins a day
6 coins,
Yeah.
times
which is
80
like
cents.
$6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
times-
and that's what I was just gonna say. It's an investment. Every investment has some risk. But when I looked at this one, I don't see how you lose, because even if the coin plummeted, right? You didn't lose you don't lose your mining shares. Maybe it takes longer to get your money back, but you didn't lose your money. So it's, in that case, it's not necessarily like stocks, because you still have your mining shares. You're still gonna get coins every night. They're just maybe not as worth as much, so it takes longer to get your money back. Right now, the trajectory is just straight up, right? There's not a likelihood that that would happen. But just like with any investment, there is a bit of a risk. But when I looked at it long term, to me, I was like, I don't see how you could ever actually really lose your money unless the entire grid collapsed, and then you're probably not worried so much about your money. You're trying to survive in other ways. So what we're looking at here is my actual dashboard. There's my hash power. This is a representation. The orange is the hash. The green is the coin award. So today we should have gotten paid.
Not yet.
No, not yet. Wait, yeah, 5/14. Yeah, today's the 14th, right?
We didn't get paid today?
Yeah, 318 coins today.
That's because you have so much hash power though.
Right.
I got 6 coins today because I don't have that much hash power. Just so you know.
got $6 today.
But we started 5 months ago, and you guys have been hearing me say each month we made our $1,000 back, and now we have an extra 3,400, 3,900, which is way more than it's sitting in my savings account where I made $250 last year.
Well, the other cool thing too is once you get into the crypto and you go to Coinbase, once you convert some of this into USDC, it's 4.10% APR,
Which is
on-
higher than the base.
which is higher than the banks with your crypto just sitting there. So there's another positive.
But if it keeps going up each day, and we're sitting on those
And it's projected
This
to be
is what's gonna blow your
$16
mind.
by next year.
Right.
If it's $16, it's still be like 4,000 times 16 is a lot more than that. That's where the investments were sitting on it, because we didn't have people.
That's a tree right there.
Dang,
That's I'm up there.
Oh, sorry.
somewhere.
Yeah, this is our live network right here. This is just my network. So this isn't the whole company, this is just my network right here.
Oh,
And I got in just 2 weeks
That's
after
what
you,
you-
it says.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got in at 4 cents on, or how much I got in at?
It was probably about 10.
About 10 cents?
No, it was 16 when we started.
It went up in 2 weeks, that much?
We came in a month after him.
No, this says 2 weeks,
Oh,
my thing.
I don't know where we are, but we're up there. So we're like 500 to sign up. When I signed up, it was 3,400 something last week.
And
So
when I
it's
signed
still
up,
early, very,
426.
early, and you're still gonna make money.
out of 100
Just
million
trying to
people
Yeah.
that can sign up?
You're still on the bottom
Well,
edge
let's-
of 100 million
Let's
people.
do some
100
math, let's do some
Yeah.
actual real math.
It's not necessarily the amount of people, it's the amount of mining
Shares.
capacity.
Yeah.
But it's like a
Shares.
rocket, and you're only getting so many seats on that rocket till they shut it down.
Well,
You can't-
I don't have the calculator in there, and I'm not good at math, but you said you're getting what?
I got 6 cents a day since I
So
signed
you
up.
got
6
Six
coins.
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 6?
I'm getting
Not
6, and Mary's getting 6, and Ray's getting 12.
I got 11 today.
Oh, I don't know.
So
how many I
that's
got.
essentially.
That means more people are getting into it.
Today.
And so it took
is.
us 4 months to make our 1,000 back, and then after that, it's been going up since.
But there's how many days? So you got May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. About 10 months till February, give or take a little bit. So that's about, what, 300 days?
Right.
30 days in a month?
Roughly.
300 times 7 coins, that's the, between the 8 and the 6. So I'm putting in 7. You'd have about 2,100 coins
Added to our already 4,000 coins.
times 16.69. So if you did nothing, never signed a person up, never increased your hash, the value of the coin hits the 1669, on cash-in day, it'd be about 35,000, a little over $35,000 of value right there.
And
Now-
they're
Yeah, but
predicting
you're
880,
taking
right?
that times each one now. It's
You-
not at the 16.
No, he's saying if it was.
Well, it
16.
could be more
That's what
because you
I
could
meant.
have 5 shares given to you in a day versus, or 50. It could change every day too, so that.
Right, and that's why I took 7,
Right,
because
average.
it's going between 8, this is not hard, this is not exact math, it's,
Correct.
if it hits the 1669, I did it on 300 days, it's probably a little bit less than 300 days if you count it up. But with a single share and doing nothing, never increasing your hash, never doing anything, you should have roughly $35,000 on the day it hits 1669.
Yeah,
1669 isn't the end though.
right.
I mean, there's the next day. And the other cool thing is that
It could be hard.
when it hits the $16 mark, you can sell everything you have, and then later that night, you're getting a deposit of coins again. But that deposit of coins now, the coins are $16 each.
Didn't the AI predict it in 2 years, $880?
The AI is saying 2 years, $880 a coin. But their math doesn't go out that far, so the
It's a guess with that.
the AI is adding a little bit more guess in there, whereas up to, I think it was April of next year, that they have the actual math that they can do to pretty much pinpoint, say it's going to be this on this day.
And
Pretty much
since
like
we signed up, when
everything.
he told us that, we were like, whatever, but since we signed up, it has gone up to what they predicted, so by the end of the month, it's supposed to be $1.25.
And it's been a great experience so far.
So I'm just glad I got my money back at first, but now I'm glad I'm making some. So that was my point, and then I wanted to leave it to my kids, right? So they can use
No,
it.
you wanna spend it.
I wanna spend it, I'm gonna buy a cabin.
We do not have children to
No.
give them money. They can make their own damn money.
Yeah.
I got my kids
You got
shares,
hers.
that's what I did.
You bought your own.
At least rake the lawn.
He's really cool.
Pick the dog shit up.
Not
We're
really.
making our
That's
kids
25
buy
shares right there, bro. So I bought my kids shares is what I did.
Do you wanna, well, are you done recording? Mary, stop the recorder. Okay. So I can trade out
You
that
want me to
money
get
so you
my
guys can
camera?
see that
Yeah,
too.
Mary,
Okay.
jeez.
I don't know what to
You
do.
gotta earn it. She said it.
But you guys have other questions?